Alrighty, let's start. Um, Hi Joe, this is a video just for you. I'm doing a quick and short review of your site. Um, I'm a UX engineer, so I'm spending most of my professional day either developing software or talking to UX designers. So that will be the focus of this video, and we will going to review the site and see what things I'll find that I would probably improve on or would just have another idea about. Nothing I say is a must. It's just my personal opinion on doing things. My partner is also a UX designer, so I have some experience privately doing projects with her, and also I've worked with a UX agency for a few years. So just to give you some background stuff about me and where I come from. Um, I am a guy who usually goes for simple designs, so I will probably critique some things that are not simple enough for me. Um, Again, and nothing I say means that it's bad right now, or that the way you do it is wrong. It's just my opinions. Yeah, I don't think I have to say that 3 times. We'll just go through the site. I'm going to check the site once in desktop and once in mobile mode. So one thing I'm always checking is if I can click the TweetHP to get back to home. If you have more than one tab later, or if you have more subroutes here, clicking this should bring me back to home. I'm seeing my profile picture, which is okay. I'm not sure this information is important enough to have it centered and be the first element here. What you could maybe do is take this avatar, which is pulled from Twitter, I think, so pretty much everyone should have one, and you could move it up here. I hope my mouse is viewable in the video. Yeah, it is. So I don't really need this info. I know that I'm logged in, and usually people only have one login for your site. So this whole thing could just be here as an avatar profile pic. And if I click it, I can see, I don't know, user settings later, or you can just put the Twitter handle on the bottom as a flyout if you want to, if I hover it. But this information is not important enough to be centered here, is in my opinion. You can just move it here. That's enough. Task Solver is important. It's a new feature that I saw in your tweet. I think that's fine to have as a first thing. What I saw a few times here is this question mark right here. While I think that it's really, really good of you that you explain pretty much everything on this page with a question mark, this seems very big for what it does. What I would do, and let me just open a Figma file real quick so I can show you some small details I might do different. So what I would do instead is just go a different route. Make this like something like this. And yeah, something like this pretty much. So I made a round thing, but you can pretty much get this. Do one of these icons and put them right here. It doesn't have to be this big, and it just takes away, it's not as clean as when it's a small little icon here. And for most people, they won't hover this because it's pretty clear what tasks and objectives and stuff will mean. So giving it room on your page isn't really needed. So just remove it from here, make it a small little icon here. So if someone is, I don't know, doesn't know how metrics over time work, he can hover this small icon, and then it can get the space on the page that it needs. Right here, it's really not needed. It takes up too much space, and it clutters the UI, which it doesn't have to. Right. About these icons, I'm fine with them. They're a little big. I would maybe make them a little smaller, but they're okay. What would be cool, again, to remove visual clutter and still keep those logos, because I actually like that fat bird logo that you did. You could integrate this loading bar or whatever you want to call it and make it part of the bird. So I hope I'm making sense. You could, for example, here I have to make 70 replies and this bar fills the more replies I have. You could instead make part of the bird fill with that color. So you have one less bar here and have integrated it nicely into your design. I can still keep that label to see what I have to do and still see the percentage progression that I have. And I'm not sure if I need that number or if you can integrate it as a large number in front. I'm not sure if that's needed. I might just drop this whole thing because if the bird is like filled half, I know that I have 10 replies. Or maybe integrate the number. I would have to check that out in the design myself. What I'm confused about a little is that when I go to 24 hours, I should have the same numbers that I have right here, right? But make 20 replies, I have 7. At least that's what your backend says to me. But I have 12 replies down here. So I'm pretty sure that this starts counting from 12 o'clock at night, while this metric is probably the last 24 hours. I think I would make that the same, because it doesn't make sense when I look at this data that there's a 12 and here's a 7. Not sure how much I like that. Changing this is pretty cool. The animation looks fine for me. What I don't 100% get is if I take these objectives and you say the closer a point is to the edge, the higher the metric is. But who decides or what decides when I hit that point, for example? Like why did you decide that 98 likes in 7 days was like maximum? And I'm a very small Twitter account, so what does, like, is the number different depending on how many followers I have or how my metrics look in monthly basis or weekly basis or stuff? So maybe I'm stuck here, but I'm not sure how, like, the position of the different metrics correlates to a maximum that is hidden here. Like, where is the maximum from? Who decided what that maximum is? And yeah, so I'm not sure how to reach this or what I have to reach, right? You say that 37 profile clicks are like here, about 30% up. So 100 profile clicks would be 100%. Is that like integrated in those results? And if that's the case, why is make 20 replies here, but here's 63 replies? Oh, sorry, 24 hours. Okay, then it shows as maximum. So there's some correlation here between those two, I think, but I'm not sure how they work and how you calculate a maximum here. Just something to think about. Maybe you can answer that to me, and maybe it makes total sense and I just don't get it. But that's a thought that I had when I looked at this. Consistency is okay. I always struggle with this thing because I constantly don't tweet at the weekend, which you can see here pretty clearly. Usually Saturday is my day off, so I'm always losing this streak. You can't really do much about that, and since you're a tweet analytics software indie hacker, I might not be the perfect customer and other people might not bother with this. For me, I think this information is completely irrelevant since I will always break the streak, which I also criticized with TweetStreak because they didn't have any possibility to do just 5 days a week. What I would suggest as a UX design idea is that you just show the streak when it's longer than 3 days. I wouldn't show it on 1 day because that's not a streak. Like the smallest streak that you can have is 2 days. And I would maybe make the cutoff at 3 days, so people actually see that they have a real streak when they look at it. Yeah, other than that, you can't really do much about me not posting on Saturday. Maybe I should be like more motivated to do it because of graphics like this. but I'm really not, and that's okay. Having 5 streak weeks is okay for me, and resetting it is not really a problem. Again, with metrics over time and this question mark, we already... Oh, what's that? Oh, you added a video in this, okay. Make sure, like you can see, I'm not sure if that's the same for you in every browser, but you can see that down there at progress summary, it overlays, like the label overlays the video, which is not great. I'm also not sure if we actually need the performance downgrade from integrating this video. Oh, it's done with the recording studio software from the other SaaS guy. I'm not sure you need this. I see that I'm loading the media here. Let's check what size it has. Metrics over time. Okay, if that's the actual size, then you're fine. I'm still not sure if you need it, because I can just play around with this and see what happens. Yeah. Not sure if you need that video, but it's okay. It's maybe an opinionated thing. All of this is pretty fine. What you could do, but is pretty optional, is that you could format the dates in locale format. So for me as a German, this is not a format you would ever see in pretty much any application. It would be 27.02.2023. But of course I can read this as well. And most of your target audience is probably in English speaking countries, so that's fine. But you could think about formatting that the right way. Regarding the colors, I'm not sure if you already have a color system which is used here, because I don't think that the colors don't match that well. Like, the colors are fine. You could go in a direction where you take colors from Tailwind. Maybe take like the 400 for all of them. And then you have designer matched colors that work pretty well together. But I also think that this works well already. This replies received color is not that bad. Could be changed. I would think about that if this was my application, or I bought it from someone and have to edit it now or create new stuff for it. I would probably switch out this color scheme for the Tailwind color scheme. Something you can think about, but don't really have to do. Other than that, this graph is fine. The only thing that we have to critique on this is that once I put impressions in, everything else vanishes. So I'm not sure if impressions should be in here or it should have its own graph. Maybe other people have a lot of likes and impressions, and then it makes more sense again. Just another thought from a small creator that has a lot of impressions, but nobody really comments or likes stuff. Yeah, other than that, the overlays here are pretty hard to see. You can't really do much about fixing that, I think. Yeah, if you don't want to do 2 graphs, this is pretty much all you can do. Progress summary is fine. The first thing that I noticed, and I know pretty fast what it is that there's a minus 11% here, or a minus 46. And my question is, because I've already scrolled down and my head has focused on other things now, I'm not sure the user already still knows that that's meant for 7 days. That's how I interpret it. Maybe it's different, then you should think about it again. So if I change to 30 days here, do the percentages change? Yeah. So I know what's meant here with the 13%, 19%, 14%, 13%. I'm not sure if it would help to add information here. That's something I would discuss with the UX designer, because I'm not sure myself. Yeah, just another thing to keep in mind, because it's just a label here, 13%. What does it mean? What date range is it? Because people have scrolled so far down that they probably have forgotten about this. You know, like the range of the elements that are connected on the page are too far in between for the user to remember that information. So they're kind of lost if they just look at this, or they might be lost because some people might get that. Yeah, not sure. I'm really not a fan of those. Let me go here. Because this can get, like, this is very confusing to me. So yeah, that's the view that I looked at the first time. So what does profile power 24.3% mean? Your profile power is based on profile clicks and your users. Optimizing your profile helps in follower conversion. Okay. So does that mean that 24.3% of people that go to my profile click follow? Does that mean that my engagement rate is somehow in this percentage? I don't know what this means. Like, your profile power is based on profile clicks and new users. What are new users? New followers? I'm not, or is it users that have never interacted with me and then get to my profile? Like, you've got some explaining to do here because I don't know what this percentage means. The same is true with content quality. Content quality is based on impressions and profile clicks. So does that mean that if I have like 1,000 impressions and let me check if my math is right, 8 people click on it, that means I have a 0.8% content quality? Is that what it means? Because that's what I gather. But you also imply, and I think that's dangerous, that what I write is not even 1% of quality that I could have. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, this sounds like your content is shit. That's what that meter says to me. Because it's like getting a paper where you could be graded from 0 to 100 and you got 1 point out of 100 or even 0.8 points of 100. It sounds bad, and I'm not sure that's the thing that you want to like tell me. I get that it's not what you mean, but it shows, like, it has a negative connotation. The same with virality with the other things. What does 3.5% mean? It's like, okay, when I do a tweet and someone retweets that, like 1,000 people see it and 3.5 people retweet it or like it. Is that percentage here? Like, I'm not sure about this, and I think it needs more explaining. Maybe 2 more sentences and explanation above it or something will fix it. But I would work on this one, especially since it really has a negative connotation to me. Like, that's not a percentage you want when it's about your content quality. Okay, enough. Data relationship. Yeah, maybe I'm too small for this. Maybe my account is just too small. But again, this doesn't really get me much. Like, it just shows a correlation between likes and replies. Which means the engagement rate is higher the more right and top this is. Also, I'm confused that I can do this. So it doesn't really say anything anymore. I think that you, like, this is all still my impressions and my take on this, and you shouldn't, like, don't feel attacked too much if I say something here. I'm just one guy and I'm trying to, like, it's a little bit of roasting here too, right? Because you want to get feedback and I'm giving you a lot of feedback, and some of it you might not agree with, and that's okay. I think that you over-engineered this. I think that this will confuse people, like that I can change all the impressions and profile clicks and replies stuff, and I'm not sure what all of these graphs mean. Like, what can I gather from this graph that I cannot gather from this graph? That I cannot gather from this graph. So I think this is over-engineered. I think this is an engineer that wanted to be not wanted to be clever, that sounds mean. I think you wanted to give as much possibility to do stuff as you could, but you gave me, at least me, you gave too much possibilities. Like this is too complex for me. Like I have a master's in computer science, and my ADHD brain doesn't connect with this. I just know that this is probably a good tweet. This might be a good tweet, but it's really further down here. So is it really good or not? And another thing is that this is really hard to click. Like you can see that there is like one reply and then another reply and then the original tweet. So this is like pixel work on desktop, which will be way harder to do on mobile. Not really fond of that. I can click some of them when I'm changing this perspective, but again, I don't know what this means. Like, this is over-engineered, I think. I'm really not trying to sound mean here. I have this problem that I'm too direct sometimes, so forgive me if that's a little too direct for you. I'm really not trying to sound mean. I think one solution for this could be that you just put more than one graph here. Like pick the view that you think will be the best solution and just do that and remove all of this. Pick 2 graphs that you think show something that is that has value and remove the rest. I think this is too much for a user to handle. They want to have it easier. With this table, I already gave you some feedback. I think that would be still cruel to have padding on left and right side, because I have the same material UI table in one of my projects right now, and I'm trying to hold shift down and scroll because it looks for me like there's more here because it's so far on the right side here. Just giving this some padding will make the table look better. Yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say about this. The rest is fine. Works, material UI. I can like sort stuff. Yeah, that's okay. I can see it as a little like the type fully grow page where you can like sort your stuff by different metrics. This is fine. What I would do is like your cutoff for the labels is very far in front here, while you have all of this white space to fill it. So I'd make the cutoff right here. Why not use this space to show me more about my tweet? Because this is pretty short. I'm not sure what this tweet is about, for example. When you're working in an enterprise project with, I don't know what I tweeted there. The fact that I don't see a date here as well doesn't give me any clue when this tweet was and what it was about. Give me more context with this white space that you have available. You don't have to change anything, just lengthen this and I have more context. I think that would be a great change. Other than that, click here to unsubscribe from premium, info, enjoy TweetHP. So you can get, like, at the start, I told you that you could move this to right here. You can also add this to the settings. Like if I click the avatar button and then it opens the settings menu, this is something that should live there. A confusion that might only be for me, because you gifted me the premium, is that I don't know what happens when I don't unsubscribe. You don't have my card details or any PayPal. So is it just gonna run out? Do I have to do anything? Yeah, but that's just a confusion for people that got gifted premium by you and shouldn't be a problem for normal users. I would think about making this bigger because you want, I'm not sure if you should message or just share. You could maybe later, that's like more of a feature request. You could maybe later do a little modal. When you press that, you can make a share on Twitter with the most important information that someone got on this page. So for example, if they have made all of these 3 achievements or they leveled up or something, you can make a share button where a modal pops up and says you can share this info with Twitter now and get backlinks from Twitter to your site. Like make it a done tweet where it's like, I've just got all my today's achievements on TweetHP. Check out my profile if you have public pages later, or if if you want, just add tweethp.com URL to the share tweet, so people give you more clicks on your site. I would use that. Other than that, the page looks fine. I'd play a bit with padding here. I think you can have a little more room to breathe. What would also be great is if this doesn't cut out of the design. Like you can see this, right? There is, like, most of the site is here, like the cutoff is here, but not for everything. Like this stands out, and the rest is adhering to this maximum padding. It looks better if you center it or if you cut it off so it doesn't move out of here. It's probably on a grid here. Yeah, and the grid is too small for the element that you added. Yeah, all the other sections are fine, but this stands out and doesn't look that great. It probably, it also stays like that on bigger screens. Other than that, this all looks fine. I'm not sure if you use too many different colors, but doesn't really look that much to me. We're also going to take a look at the mobile page for 1 second. Let me just... so on mobile, let's check if everything looks like it should. You have objectives. That looks great. I would want to know what this looks like if it has more than 3 months in it. But right now it's fine. Metrics over time look a little bit cramped. If this works with my finger, it's all fine. But you made it look okay. You can add a little padding right here. People will scroll either way. And the rest looks fine. This is a little cramped, but it's graphs. They always look cramped on mobile. Maybe you could make this font smaller and gain some space to push it a little bit further left. But graphs are like a notorious problem on mobile. There you don't have the space available. Either cut it off earlier like you did here, or make it like, I think you solved this pretty good on mobile. I think don't change this. Don't make every row like have 6 text rows so it fills the whole tweet. Maybe make the text bigger on desktop, but don't do it here. It's okay. It's okay like this. I'd also make the padding on the table a lot smaller on mobile, like 2 or maybe 4 pixels. That's enough. It just makes it look better, but don't add more than that because you're just sacrificing space. The rest looks good. I think that's enough feedback as it is, and I hope some of that helps. Again, I don't I myself have a problem with code ownership or project ownership where I have to listen to feedback and don't get angry about it. So I totally get it when I was too direct with something. Everything's fine. Like the page looks great as it is. It's just improvement ideas that I had and that I wanted to share with you. If you do nothing, this page is still good. As a UX designer, you look at every single detail, every small thing you could change to make it 10% better. So I tried to take a look at that with that eye. Also really like the new logo. Don't have much more to say. So I hope that this helps, and bye.